Hello everybody and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. In today's video I'm going to be filling out a sketchbook page that I already pre-sketched in. And the reason I did that is just to save on time, because just the coloring in portion of this takes a long time. Okay, so first things first, before we start, in my last video where I did a sketchbook spread, I didn't really have many greens. I actually only had these three greens to use, which is just a light, a medium, and a dark. So I made a trip to Delta, my favorite art store, and picked up some more greens. And before I get into sketching, I want to swatch them out in my book with all my swatches so I know what I'm using and what I'm dealing with. So I got all of these greens, and I did get just one pink because it was super pretty and I just couldn't pass up on it. So I'm going to swatch all these out. Oh, and I also got some yellows because I thought I could use more yellows, and these ones I found to be really pretty. So yeah, I picked up a lot more greens, yellows, and a pink. So yeah, let's swatch them out. So I always put the labels at the bottom when I do my swatches, and I always do a rectangle so that I can do a ranged swatch. What I do is I will color in the rectangle as a base, and then I will color in a square and then a singular section twice and then 3 times. So this way I can see sort of what the marker looks like at its lightest, medium, and darkest. So I know that the theme of this video is super late because I had intended to get this out for spring and like Easter. So like I intended to get this out way back in like April and May, but like things came up and I had a lot of other commitments to make, so this ended up being really late. But I think it's still really pretty and I wanted to upload it. So this is a double page spread actually, and on the page next to it, you can sort of see like a blue mushroom. I am going to color that in another video. For 2 reasons, I've decided to do this way. I would love to do a full double page spread video, but the reason that I didn't, one was because of my filming situation. My desk is not big enough to show you a double page spread and still look nice. So I just decided to do 1 page at a time and make 2 videos out of it. And then another reason is also time crunch. It was a lot faster to get 1 page done and then focus on another page later on. So it was just more convenient all around to do it this way. So yeah, I guess it's not technically a sketchbook spread, more of a sketchbook page, but I think it still turned out pretty nice. And then we get 2 videos out of it. So the main inspiration for this sketchbook spread is obviously Easter, but also when I went to Michael's, they had like all their Easter stuff out and everything. And so I took a bunch of pictures of things that inspired me or that I thought were really cute and pretty, and I even picked up a couple of things. Like this little bowl, it's got bunny ears on it and a tail at like one end and the other, and it's like really, really cute. I really love it. So yeah, the things I saw at Michael's that really inspired me were actually these nests that I'm coloring in, and they had colored eggs in them, and I thought that that was just so pretty and cute and whimsical. So I really wanted to draw them and do a little bit of like my own version with a little bit more, I guess, aesthetic, with some flowers and some leaves. So I stuck to mostly Easter colors with this spread, mostly yellows and purples, pinks and blues. Personally, I love using these colors. I love using pastels, and my 3 favorite colors ever have always been pink, purple, and blue, with purple being my favorite. I think blue is my second favorite and pink is my third, but honestly they constantly change ranking. because I honestly cannot decide between these three. I genuinely love all of them so much. Which is part of the reason I was so excited to do this spread, because I just love these colors so much. And while yellow isn't exactly one of my favorite colors, I am finding new appreciation for it, honestly, because a lot of like the marker artwork that I'm thinking of has a lot to do with like fireflies and things like that, so that's why I got more yellow markers as well, because I recognize that I'll definitely need it in the future. But in this sketchbook spread, it certainly became a bit of an issue when it came to the yellow flowers. It was very hard to make that work and make them stand out. I ended up having to bring in my colored pencil, which I kind of tried to avoid as much as possible because I really wanted this to be a mostly marker illustration page, because I really do want to get better with my markers, and I don't know, I really wanted it to be mostly marker, but I did end up bringing in my pencil crayons for some aspects, just to either deepen a color or make it more smooth. The thing I was most nervous about when it came to this sketchbook spread, and the thing I left till the absolute last minute, was the nests. I was so freaked out about doing the nests because they don't really have a proper structure, and there's not really a way you can reference a nest. Like, it's just a big collection of twigs with a pit in the middle, basically, and so it's kind of hard to, I guess, figure out how that looks and where, you know, things should go to make it look cohesive and correct, but also not too messy and weird. So yeah, that was kind of my main dread when it came to this sketchbook page, because I really had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even do like, well, I guess I kind of did like a half practice. I basically did I took my browns and I did some sketching on a page, you know, to see like what colors, I guess, come through more versus what looks better in the back. And like, I basically used my intuition as best as I could to make these nests. And I certainly think they turned out very good, actually, like, because I was anticipating the worst. I was so scared that like the rest of the page was gonna look really good and then I would totally mess up the nests and it would just look awful. Another purpose in making this sketchbook page, well, at least this one in particular, is that I thought that these designs would look really nice as like stickers. So for next Easter, I was thinking about selling these as stickers. If you like that idea, please tell me that you do, so I have some incline to maybe at least a few people who would like this as a product. I don't know, I just thought that they were really cute and like they sort of fit into that like sort of sticker look. The hardest part about making that a sticker though would probably be the little extras that I have coming off of it, like the leaves and stuff like that. That part would probably get maybe just a little bit complicated. But other than that, it should actually be good. I just have to come up with a good outline, really. But yeah, no, I kind of thought that everything on this page would kind of work as a sticker. So yeah, that's just kind of an idea I came up with, and I would be really excited to make them if you guys would want them. But speaking of stickers, I got into the makers. It's called Shop Makers or Makers Shop, and they're a vendor business. So I am currently on their community shelf, and I have a bunch of bunny stickers that I have designed myself and ordered, and I'm currently selling them at the makers in Southgate in Edmonton, Alberta. So if you live in the area and you want some cute chocolate bunnies, they're for sale there. I'm going to make a whole video showing the process of how I did all of them and sort of, I guess, my logic behind them, because I did a strawberry cheesecake one, I did a caramel, a dark chocolate, and a toasted coconut. And I also did a variant on the strawberry cheesecake. I did a white chocolate variant, so there's a white bunny and a chocolate bunny. I personally love these a lot. Like, I think that they are so unbelievably adorable, and I'm just really happy to basically just have my first products, because these are the first things I have ever ordered and that I've ever gotten with my artwork on them. So I'm just super happy and stoked and just really giddy about it all. Like, when I post the video about how I made the chocolate bunnies, I want to post my genuine reaction to opening the stickers when they finally arrived, but I'm kind of embarrassed because, well, I kind of act like a little kid on Christmas, but like, how can you not? Like, I was so unbelievably excited, and I still am thinking about it. Like, I'm still really happy with how they turned out and how they look, and just being able to physically hold them as actual products to sell. It's just an amazing feeling. And having done that, it's made me want to do more stickers. So I've been coming up with more designs and more ideas and different things that I can do. And I really want to do something for fall. So I was thinking about doing these cozy kitties, which is like kitties in a blanket, and then like a cozy kitty illustration and stuff like that. And I was kind of thinking that, like, when it comes to like my digital art, I could always do like, I guess, an illustration and then like stickers for the illustration, because that's kind of been how it's going, at least a little bit. And I kind of really like the idea, so honestly, I might just go all the way with that, and for every digital illustration I do, I might make a a correlating sticker. So yeah, these are just some ideas floating around in my head, and I'm just really excited about them and excited that this is happening for me. And really, my next step is to gain a bigger online audience so that I can finally open an online store, because that was kind of my goal from the beginning. Like, I saw an opportunity with the makers, so I decided to take it, maybe, you know, like, get known more locally. And so I'm going to actually do markets as well in the future. But my original goal was definitely the online store. But I can't really do an online store right now because I'm not making enough in order to support the online store. So if you guys could share this video or my content with your friends or other art lovers or artists that you know, it would be a seriously, seriously big help to me. Like, you have no idea how big of a help that would be. It would be so unbelievably amazing if you could do that. I would genuinely greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much if you do. And for those of you that have stuck around here, I know I haven't been posting consistently, and I apologize for that, but I really want to thank you for staying here and being interested enough in my artwork and what I do to stay, even though I haven't been very consistent. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for staying. Thank you for having an interest. Just thank you all around. Just thank you. But on the note of posting more consistently, I have been thinking about doing shorts, like getting into that and posting more of those. I really want to do it, and I've been doing like research, and by research I mean watching a bunch of other artists' shorts and seeing like how they sort of do it, to see how I can do it as well. The biggest struggle I think I have with trying to do shorts is just the narrating part. I really don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I find it hard to do that in, I don't know, like just such short form versions. I don't know. But for some reason, that's a challenge for me. So I'm trying to think of ways to, I don't know, come up with things to say and stuff like that, and just things to talk about. So the first few shorts I post probably won't be that great. Hopefully I'll get better as I go along though. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be posting those, but hopefully soon. I anticipate soon, but then again, I anticipated that I would get this video out forever ago, and it's only coming out now, so so there you go. But hopefully this is a little bit better, because it shouldn't take up as much time. So yeah. Okay, sorry, got off on a real big tangent there. My favorite flowers when it came to this part of the piece were certainly the blue and the pink one. I thought they looked really nice, and originally I was going to make the yellow flower bud that's between them purple, but then I thought I would have too much purple on the piece, and so that's why I decided to change it to yellow. But unfortunately I had drawn it in with purple pencil crayon. By the way, the pencil crayons that I use here are color erase pencils, so they do erase. But unfortunately, the darker colors of the color erase pencils don't erase as well as the light ones, of course. So some of the pencil lines from when I colored it in with purple, or from when I drew it in with purple, still remained even after I put the marker on, and I tried to fix it with my yellow color erase pencil. So I did the best that I could, but it still shows through just a tiny bit. The big yellow flower at the back was very hard to do just because yellow is such a light color. It's so hard to do shading without things getting muddy or mucky, and even then, because it is still again such a light color, it's hard to differentiate where the petals are. So I very heavily relied on my yellow color erase pencils to do the heavy lifting when it came to that, and honestly I'm still not 100% happy with how it looks, but I don't think it's horrible. If I was to do this again, I honestly don't know what I would do differently besides maybe, I don't know, choose some different yellows or something, because I really like the yellow flower and I love the purple and yellow together. They always look amazing because they're complementary colors, but I just don't know what I would do to make the yellow flower more readable. So then we move to the lower part of the page, and I'm starting the second nest. And again, I'm avoiding the actual nest part till the last possible second, but this was the first nest that I did do, and the reason is because the main focal point of the page is that big nest up top, so I really wanted that one to be as nice as possible. So I figured if I'm going to do the nest, I should start with the smaller one rather than the big one, just in case like I make mistakes, and then I can learn from them and not do them when I get to the bigger one, which I am so glad that I did, because I took it very slow because I still didn't want to mess up the smaller one because it's still an important part of the page and I didn't want it to look ugly or awful. So I took it very slow, but I did learn a lot of things by doing the smaller one first and then moving to the big one. And mainly that had a lot to do with like shading and highlighting, where to leave breaks and things like that. I also used some of the darker versions of my color erase pencils to add in some shading where it was needed, just to make things a little bit more dynamic, like in the bow and in the creases of the flowers and such. So these little pink berries that I have at the end here, I honestly don't know what they are, because they kind of look, I guess, a little bit like cranberries or bush berries, but they're not real berries because they're a dark pink. But honestly, I don't care. Like, I just thought that pink berries would be really cute on the end, so I just decided to go with pink. I didn't really have a plan for when I was going to do the second page because things got all jumbled up on my timeline and everything like that, so I kind of pushed it off for the longest time. So it's still not done, but it's on my list of priorities of things to get done quick. And on that list of priorities is a piece of artwork I made for my auntie, the other half of this sketchbook spread, and a illustration that I want to put up in the Makers for Sale as well in prints. So those are currently my top 3 priorities when it comes to artwork right now, which is funny because I also have like side priorities, which is sticker designs and then short making and then product photos and making things now for product photos. So yeah, it's kind of just like a never-ending snowball because I can go like down a whole scroll long list of things that I need to do and ideas that I have and what I want to get done by when. I'm a plate piler, honestly. I always pile a massive amount of work on my plate and I never clear my plate. I will always add something to it. My plate has not been cleared in 4 years. Yeah, it's honestly, it's never been cleared if I'm being honest. And that's just because I come up with new things and I'm just like, oh, and I could do this, and oh, I can do that, and oh, I want to do this, and it just never stops. So yeah, when I say a scroll long list, I genuinely mean that. So here we are finally starting on the nest, and I'm going in with a mid color here to start because I didn't want to go in immediately too dark because that would just be foolish. I mean, if I go in too dark and things start to turn out all muddy and gross, well then my worst fear has just come true there now, hasn't it? So I decided to go in with mid-tone first as well as some highlights, and I didn't go with my darkest tone of brown possible for the darker areas because I wanted to layer that on top later. And I just once again want to say I have no idea what I'm doing here. I am just going off of instinct, off of what I think is going to work, and just trying my best as I can. So I am completely flying blind here. I am I have not done a million nests before. I have never done a nest before. This is 100% just intuition, basically. Like, I was constantly stepping back and, like, well, not really stepping back, but I guess, like, pulling away to look at what I had done and taking breaks and, like, trying to strategically plan out where to place my colors because I was that unsure of what I was doing. But in the end, I honestly think it turned out pretty good, but there is a mistake that I did make at the end that I didn't realize until after I made it, and that is that I add in these little white speckled spots in order to make it look more magical and everything. But the thing is, I realized if I'm going to scan these and make these stickers, I shouldn't do that because it might, you know, not look good with the piece and it could distort the picture and everything like that. So I realized that after the fact and I stopped that. I did not do it for the rest of the page, even though that was my original intention because I just love the look that effect gives. Like, I just think it makes things look so much more magical and amazing. So I absolutely love like that kind of fairy dust effect, kind of like sparkle in a way. But I realized that if I want to make these stickers, I probably shouldn't do that until after they have been properly scanned and edited. So yeah, I only did that for this one, even though I had intended to do it for the others, but I did not carry through. Okay, so now it's time for the big nest and the scariest part of this whole sketchbook page. I again went into this very cautious. So I started off with putting the places where I thought the highlights would look best, and then sort of went into where I thought the midtones should go. So I went back and forth between the two quite a bit. And while I was more confident at this point doing this nest, I wasn't still completely sure of myself. So it did take quite a long time, and I was trying to be as careful as possible. If I was to do this again, I think the main thing that I would change is I would leave more white gaps between the branches so it doesn't look so densely packed with brown. Either that, or I would use more white highlights if I was to do it again, which I will be doing it again because on the other sketchbook page there is another nest with colored eggs that I'll be doing. So I'll probably take that approach with that nest, assuming I remember. But yeah. Okay, so about this little bee here, this was actually the last thing that I drew in for this sketchbook page, and I kind of wish I drew it a little bit lower just to make the page look just a little bit nicer, because I think it's a little bit too high, but I wasn't willing to redraw it, so I just left it in the position that it was in. And this is sort of the first animal-like thing that I've ever colored with markers, or I guess maybe like living thing that's not an object. And I was very nervous about doing it because I was just kind of unsure how to do the bee fuzz. I was worried that I would mess it up a little bit, and also I was unsure how I would put the shading in to make it look like, I guess, real and like fuzzy. So the main reason I put the bee in here anyway is because I thought it went with like the spring Easter kind of vibes, and I wanted to add just one more thing to this page. Otherwise it would have been a page just full of eggs, which it mostly is anyways still, but you know, I wanted to add in just a little something extra. But the thing is, with the bee, I didn't want it to just be a normal bee, and I didn't want to go with black and yellow because I thought that would be way too disconnected from the rest of the colors on the page, so I didn't want to go with an ordinary bee, and I wanted to make it look really cute, and I just didn't think I could do that with black, so instead I decided to go with something a little more whimsical, and instead I made it pink. And I drew another bee on the second page of this sketchbook spread, so there's going to be another bee with that one as well, but that one is purple and yellow instead of pink and yellow. Because again, I didn't want to go with black because I just thought it would be too striking and just too dark for it overall. And I honestly really like the way that this bee turned out. I really like the pink and the yellow together. I think it looks really cute and sweet. And I might do more of these, like maybe like blue and yellow and like orange and yellow and maybe even green and yellow. Like, I don't know. But I just thought that changing the black to a different color would be sort of fun and maybe look really nice, and it did, and I'm really happy with it. I did decide, however, though, to keep the legs and the antenna black, but rather than using my alcohol marker for that, partially because the alcohol marker is very, very dark, and also because I didn't want it to bleed and like start seeping in with the other colors. I wanted to keep it very, very clean and readable that these were the legs and the antenna. So instead of using my black Copic, I decided to use my black pencil crayon to fill in the legs and antenna, and it ended up being just a light enough black that it's not too disorienting, but just, you know, dark enough that you get the message and it looks nice. It doesn't look too bold. So then, to finish off the page and just bring it all together, I decided to just dot it with some colored speckles all around, just to add a little something. And then, yeah, it's all done. So that's the end of this sketchbook page, and I can't wait to do the next one and show you all. And that's also the end of this video. So I hope you all liked it, and if you did, please remember to like and subscribe. And once again, if you could share this with your friends, it would seriously, seriously help me out, and I would greatly appreciate it, so thank you. And I hope you all have a wonder-filled day. Bye, everybody!